Hello, it's me again, Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome again, my lovely Form 1 students, in our proceeding lecture series in biology, and we are currently proceeding with our topic known as classification of the living things. We have already covered the first second subtopic, which was the concept of classification as well as the classification system. And now we will discuss on our 3 and 4th subtopic, which is major groups of living things as well as binomial nomenclature. In these two subtopics, we look on the major classes or kingdom of different living organisms as well as the process or the method or means of naming or assigning scientific name to these groups of living organisms. You're welcome. By starting with the first subtopic, which is major groups of the living things. Now, in biology, there are 5 major groups of organisms, and these groups as follows. The first one, we have the kingdom Monera. Within the kingdom Monera, there are bacteria. Example, there is Euglena. Example, there is this amoeba. There is different groups of the bacteria which are very beneficial, which are very dangerous to the health of the living things. The second group, we have the kingdom Protoctista. Within the kingdom Protoctista, there is Plasmodium, there is Paramecium, there is Euglena species, which belong to different phylum of this kingdom Protoctista. The third kingdom is fungi. Within the fungi, example, there is mushroom, there is yeast, there is Penicillium, which are members of the kingdom fungi. Also, the fourth kingdom is Plantae. Within the kingdom Plantae, here we will look the monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous plants which are found in our environment. We form the different tree species which are found in our environment. Also, then the last one, the major groups or class of these living things is kingdom Animalia. Within the kingdom of Animalia, there is different kinds of the living things. Example, human beings, example, cows, example, rabbits, example, birds, example, reptiles, example, amphibians. These all belong to this kingdom Animalia. Now, there are other concepts which we discuss here, which is known as rank of classification. Ranking, this means the level. So when talk on the rank of classification, here we will look on the level occupied by different taxon in classification system. So now, in classifications of living things, depending on these major groups we have already discussed, which are Monera, Protoctista, fungi, Plantae as well as Animalia. Now we will see on how we can rank them in the classification system. Now, in classification of living things, there are 7 ranks of taxonomic unit which are arranged hierarchically in descending order from highest to lower. So within the ranking in the classification system, we've already discussed there are 2 main process of classification, the natural and artificial. So now we will use this 7 rank to classify organisms by placing them into their required order, by starting with the highest order, which is the kingdom, to the least or lowest, which is species. So each unit is called a taxon. So each taxonomic rank or unit is known as a taxon. And this rank are, we have the kingdom, also there is phylum or division. This phylum is applicable to organisms, and this division is applicable to plants. Also, we have the class, we have the order, we have the family, genus, as well as the species. These are the main 7 taxonomic units or rank you have to be aware with, my lovely students, for us to perform classification system more easier. Now, the highest rank is kingdom and the lowest rank is species. Within the kingdom, this comprises the largest and many number of the living organism. While as you descend from the highest to the lowest order, the groups of the living organism decreases. Why? This is because due to the increase of the similarities of organism based on their evolutionary relationship. Now, initially, all organisms were classified into two major groups, namely Kingdom Animalia as well as Kingdom Plantae. Before, organisms were classified into major two groups, which was Kingdom Animalia and the Kingdom Plantae. Within the Kingdom Plantae, where we get the plants, and within the Kingdom Animalia is where we get different organisms. Now, but currently, these main kingdom were broken down, and where we get the Kingdom Fungi, Monera, Animalia, Protoctist, as well as Plantae. Now, the Kingdom Animalia is subdivided into phylum, and the Kingdom Plantae is subdivided into division. Why Kingdom Plantae Animalia is divided into phylum? This includes the number of organisms inaoinvolve wanyama, lakini Plantae sana sana imeinvolve mimea. Ndio maana katika mimea tutaenda kutumia division, lakini kwa viumbe hai wanyama tutaenda kutumia phylum. You have to be aware on that, ili usije ukatumia kwenye wanyama ukaweka division, alafu kwenye mimea ukaweka phylum. Now, the phylum division is further divided into classes. So, baada ya phyla au division, na yenyewe imegawanyika kwenda kwenye classes, na classes pia imegawanyika kwenda kwenye orders, na order is further subdivided kwenda kwenye families, and with families also subdivided into genera, na genera pia be divided kwenda kwenye species. So this is the taxonomic units or rank which are used in classifying the largest, which is kingdom, ambayo imedivided kwenda kwenye phylum, phylum to class, class to order, order to family, family to genus, and genus to the species. So you have to be familiar with these main major units of taxonomic ranking. Also, the species. The species, what is species now? Species, this is a group of closely related organisms that can interbreed under natural condition and produce a fertile offspring. Kwa within the species, na classification mara nyingi inatokea katika species level. Kwa nini? Within the species level where you get to the organism which are genetically related, and therefore if they are genetically related, meaning that they can interbreed na kuproduce a fertile offspring for further reproduction process. So now we have to consider the flowchart on how Kingdom Animalia and Plantae are subdivided. Hapa flowchart yenyewe provide the summary on this major 7 taxonomic ranking which are using classification system, starting from the largest one, which is the kingdom, to the lowest one, which is species. This is a simple flowchart which are used within the Kingdom Animalia. Tunatumia phylum, lakini kwa Plantae tunatumia division, ambapo hii kwa sababu hapa kwenye Animalia kuna wanyama, lakini kwenye Plantae we have the plant species. So this phylum and division are further classified into class, and class classified into order, order into family, family into genus, and genus into species. So kingdom have greatest variety of organism, and at kingdom level share few features in common. Katika kingdom kwa kuna aina mbalimbali. Kwa mfano kwa Kingdom Animalia tunakuwa tuna reptile, tunakuwa tuna amphibia, tuna birds, tuna human beings, pia wako pale mammals. So katika kingdom tunakuwa tuna comprise different organism ambao wanakuwa na sifa mbalimbali, lakini katika hizo chache tu ndio zinakuwa zinafanana. Also, at species level, organisms share many features in common. Katika lowest level or rank ambao ni species kuna many features in common, and that's why, meaning that those organisms which are found in the same species are those organisms which belong to the same ancestor, and therefore they can interbreed and produce a fertile offspring of their own nature. Kwa mfano, a human being can interbreed to produce a fertile human being. Now, a member of the same species can interbreed to produce a fertile offspring, but members of different species do not interbreed. Lakini, if they interbreed, they do not produce a fertile offspring. Kwa hiyo ile reproduction iweze kutake place, meaning that the involving organism must belong to the same species ili kuweza kuproduce a fertile offspring. Lakini in case if the involving species which are used katika reproduction are not of the same species, meaning that at a given condition inaweza ikaproduce offspring, lakini yule pale offspring anaweza akawa infertile, meaning that hana uwezo wa kuweza kureproduce, na in case hata akiwa amezaliwa anaweza akawa viable, meaning that hata kuwa na uwezo wa kuweza kuishi kwa muda mrefu. Kwa mfano, this is because of different genetic makeup, behavior and morphology, and that's why he became infertile. Now, however, there are few exceptions for this rule. For instance, a horse and donkey can interbreed to produce a mule, which is usually infertile. Hii hapa rule ya the species must interbreed and produce a fertile offspring inaweza ikana some exception. Kwa mfano tukiangalia punda pamoja na farasi, unaweza ka interbreed na kuweza kuproduce infertile offspring ambaye anaitwa mule, ambaye hana uwezo wa kuweza kuzaa au kuzaliana. Now, wolf and dogs can interbreed to produce a fertile offspring. Lakini mbwa mwitu na mbwa wa nyumbani wanaweza waka interbreed na kuweza kuproduce a fertile offspring. And this is the table showing the classification of some of the organisms. Here we have the taxonomic units, we have the human, here we have the cat as well as the plant. By looking here, human being and the cat, these are organisms, meaning that they belong to the kingdom Animalia, and the maize plant, this is a plant. This belong to the kingdom Plantae. So now, by looking on this 7 rank of taxonomic unit, one is starting with the kingdom. Now, what the human being do belong? Human being belongs to the kingdom Animalia, and the cats all belong to the kingdom Animalia. And the phylum, this is a organism, so here we will use the phylum. The phylum of human being is Chordata, and the phylum of cat is Chordata. And the class for human being is Mammalia, also cat is Mammalia. The order for human being is Primate, and the order of cat is Carnivora. And the family for human being is Hominidae, where family for cat is Felidae. And the genus for human being is Homo, and the genus for cat is Felis, as well as species for human being is Homo sapiens, and the species of the cat is Felis catus. Now, looking on the kingdom Plantae, where we have the maize plant, it belongs to the kingdom Plantae, and the division Angiospermophyta, and the class Monocotyledonae, meaning that the single seed, and the order is Graminealae, and the family is Poales, and the genus is Zea, and the species is Zea. So this is how we use this taxonomic ranking in classification of the organism. So you have to be aware and you have to understand this flowchart in order to introduce or in order to classify a given organism depending on the scientific system. Now, let us shift on our second subtopic, which is binomial nomenclature, where we'll become familiar on how we can assign the scientific name to different group of the living organism. The binomial nomenclature, this meaning that is a scientific system of naming organism using a two-part name. So this binomial, bi meaning two. So with this system will use two parts in the process of naming organism. So the first part of the name represents the genus, and the second part of the name represents the specific epithet. So katika hii system tunaenda kutumia sehemu mbili. You use two parts katika naming. Ambapo part ya kwanza ni genus, tunaangalia ni genus, alafu ya pili tunaenda kutumia specific epithets, mostly species. Hapa tunaenda kwa huyu anatoka katika species gani. Now, this system was introduced by the Carl Linnaeus, ambao ni fathers of classification. So the father of classification ambaye alintroduce binomial or system of naming and classification alikuwa anaitwa Carl Linnaeus, ambaye ni father of classification. An example of the scientific name of human being. Kwa mfano katika binomial nomenclature, scientific name, jina la kisayansi la human being, as we already see in our table, for human being ni Homo sapiens. Meaning that here tuna two parts, the generic and specific epithet. Hapa the generic ni Homo, ambao ndio kuna genus, and the sapiens hapa ni specific ambapo tunakuwa tuna sapiens. Kwa tukiziunganisha, tunaunganisha genus na species level katika naming ambapo tunataka kupata ni Homo sapiens. Now, Homo is a generic name and sapiens is a specific epithet. So katika binomial tunakuwa tunaunganisha these two parts katika naming. So what are the rules of binomial nomenclature? Ni njia zipi au sheria zipi za kuzingatia unapokuwa unatumia this binomial process katika naming of organism? The first one, all scientific name must be written in Latin language or underlined. Example, Homo sapiens au Homo sapiens. Kwa unapokuwa unaandika scientific name, you have to Latinize it. Kwa mfano, katika Homo sapiens unaenda kutumia njia ya Latin ambayo unaenda kuandika kwa njia ya mlalo, lakini speech make sure that unairite kwa using the capital letter. Generic term unaitumia capital letter. Kwa mfano hapa generic au genus tunakuwa tunatumia Homo. Tumeona hapa H imeanzia herufi kubwa, alafu inafuatia na specific epithet ambayo yenyewe tuandika kwa herufi na sapiens hapa ni kwa njia ya Latini au mlalo. Alafu kwa kutumia njia ya kawaida, if you use your free hand, make sure that you underline each word separately. Kwa mfano hapa tume underline Homo, alafu tuka underline sapiens. Hatujaunganisha mstari moja kwa moja. Tuna underline generic kivyake na specific epithet kivyake if you use your free hand. Also, the name should have two parts. The first part represents the genus and second represents the specific epithet. As the name identify binomial, meaning that two parts. Kwa unapokuwa unaandika jina lolote la scientific lazima liwe na sehemu mbili. Kwa mfano tukizungumzia mahindi, the scientific name for maize ni Zea maize. So katika pale Zea pale anasimama for part na maize anasimama for specific sapiens. Also, the generic name is written before specific epithet. As you see here in our example, generic name lazima tuanze na generic name, baada ya pale inafuatiwa na specific. Kwa hiyo kwanza specific afu fuate generic. Also, generic name must be start with the capital letter and the specific letter must begin with the smaller letter. Also, in published documents, scientific name should be written in italic, for example, Zea maize or Zea maize. Kwa hiyo katika unapokuwa unaandika katika publish lazima utumie Latinized word or italic ambayo ndio kutumia njia ya mlalo, lakini make sure unazingatia kanuni ambayo the generic one unaanzia na capital letter followed with the specific epithet ambayo inaandika kwa small letter. Okay, tumia freehand, make sure that you underline it separately. Consider the table here. Here we have the common name and the scientific name, binomial nomenclature. Kwa mfano tukianza kwa common frog, chura, scientific name yake ni Rana temporaria. Kwa hapa hii Rana ni generic na temporaria ni specific epithet. Kuna domestic cat. Domestic cat hapa ni common name, yule paka nyumbani. Scientific name yake tunamuita Felis catus. Felis hapa inasimama kwa ajili ya generic na catus represent the specific epithets ambao ni species. And the other one is coconut palm. Katika scientific ni Cocos minifera. So Cocos ni generic, Minifera ni specific. Another is mango tree. Scientific name is Magnifera indica. The same Magnifera is generic and indica is specific. Also you have the garlic. Kwa scientific name tunamuita Allium sativum. Allium sativum is generic, sativum ni specific. Also you have the onion. Nature kwa scientific ni Allium cepa. So Allium ni generic na cepa ni specific. Also pear plants. Scientific name ni Pisum sativum. So Pisum ni generic na sativum ni specific. Also housefly, it is called Musca domestica. So the Musca ni generic na domestica ni specific. Also we have the lion. Scientific name ya lion ni Panthera leo. So the Panthera is a generic and leo is a specific epithet. Also we have the leopard. Leopard is called Panthera pardus. So the Panthera, this is the genus. You see lion and leopard belong to the same genus while they belong to different species. This is why both belong to this Panthera, where they differ in the species. Where for the leopard is the Panthers. Also here we have the maize. We have the mimosa plant where the scientific name is Mimosa pudica, where the Mimosa is a generic and Pudica, this is a specific habitat. That is how the scientific name or process of scientific name are used in assigning name to different group of living organisms. So up to there, my lovely students, I hope now you are familiar with the major groups of the living organism, how that they classified. Also, we have already covered on the ranking, we have seen on how different units or taxonomic ranking are used in classification system. We have already covered also on the binomial nomenclature. We have seen on the rules for writing the binomial or assigning the binomial nomenclature to different group of organisms. You also make a follow-up on them so as to increase your understanding. And that's mark the end of our today topic, which was classification. And before I sum up our topic, you have to take a note in this simple task. The first question states that explain why organisms belonging to different species do not interbreed to produce a viable offspring. This question comes from the taxonomic ranking. You have to pass through, you can answer it. And the second one, explain the importance of binomial nomenclature. 60 points. Why do you think that the binomial nomenclature is important? Up to now, my lovely Form 1 students, that mark the end of our today session and our lovely topic of classification of living things. Keep on following here for more competence and understanding. Have a nice session.